Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and it is Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. A big hello to all the people that have been with us in our Zoom room, and a big hello to those of you watching on well over 100 Facebook groups and pages. Now, listen, we want to invite you, if you are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, come on into our Zoom room. That way you can interact more easily with our wonderful presenters, and we have a great group of presenters, some real all-stars with us tonight. So please come on in, and it's easy. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. It takes about a minute. What's great too is that way we'll have your email address. Don't worry, nobody else will get it, just ourselves. But we will then send you an email that will show you how to watch the replay of tonight's show and all the previous shows that we've done. We've done like 83 of these, and they're all amazing with amazing speakers. Also, it'll get you connected to our website, and we're really proud of our website. It's got a lot of wonderful new features and ways to be connected to what's going on, which is all of us are coming together in this incredible time in human history, and we're discovering each other. We're getting tips, tools, practices together. So come and join us. Welcome. We have a fabulous show tonight. I'm really excited about it. Some great music and some very inspiring speakers. And so to tell you more about the show, here is my partner, Debra.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everyone to what is now our 84th show that we've produced every Saturday night since the lockdown in 2020. This is the 6th show in our Season 7, A Glimpse of Heaven, and Season 7 will go till the end of the year. And I want to thank you so much for your donations when you register for the Zoom link, or when you go to our donation portal where you can give tax-deductible donations, because your donations really help us produce this show. We put this show out for free, and your donations is what helps sustain and move us forward. And tonight's theme tonight, again, is going to be incredible. Our theme is As Above, So Below, honoring the relationships between Gaia and humankind. And we are so happy tonight to partner with Debra Moldow, who is the director of Evolutionary Leaders, and feature some of the key members of that amazing organization. Evolutionary Leaders is a group of powerful luminaries that have joined together and are working on many timely and valuable projects to support the accelerated shift in consciousness that's happening now. And tonight, this group of way showers is going to focus on the wisdom and the power of relationship, as so much of our healing and our growth and our evolution comes from relationship with ourselves, with each other, and of course, with Mama Gaia, who gives us all life and sustenance. And we will use the powerful spiritual truth of as above, so below, because we know in exploring relationships, they teach us that we are deeply connected to each other and Gaia, and we achieve healthy living based on how we treat each other and we treat Gaia, as well as treating ourselves. And I'm so happy to introduce this amazing group of presenters now. I want to introduce Gary Zhukov and his partner, Linda. Gary is the author of 4 consecutive New York Times bestsellers and the legendary #1 New York Times bestseller, The Seed of the Soul. And Linda has helped to author also his other books that he has produced. They have created an alignment of the personality and the soul as a fulfillment of life and captured the imagination of millions. Welcome so much, Gary and Linda, in being with us tonight. And we're so happy to have Catherine Woodward Thomas. She is the New York Times bestseller as well, author of Conscious Uncoupling, 5 Years to Living a Happy Even Ever After and Calling in the One. And she is an award winner, marriage and family psychotherapist. We're also happy to have Steve Farrell by video. He's the co-founder and worldwide executive director of Humanities Team, and which is a nonprofit organization in Boulder, Colorado. We also will be featuring Constance Buffalo. She's a member of the Red Cliff Band of Chippewa, located in northern Wisconsin, along with her business partner, Jean Houston. She has designed and created courses and mentoring programs dedicated to encouraging the vast spiritual, psychological, and creative potential of people everywhere. We are also happy to have David Nichol, who's the author of Subtle Activism, the Inner Dimension of Social and Planetary Transformation. He's the co-founder of Gaia Field Project and Earth Rising, which are dedicated to harnessing the power of coherent group consciousness for planetary healing and transformation. Welcome, David. And we have some great musicians tonight, as usual. We have Namid Wolf and Casey House. They weave worlds with her words and homemade fresh beats baked straight from the soul. Their style is fresh, raw, and organic, and uniquely their own. And we're so happy to have them here tonight. Thank you. And we also had David Kai. He's a California native. He was raised with song, sunshine, and salt water in his veins. His music is a universal message. He draws no lines of separation, and it's music from the heart. Welcome, David. And we are going to be featuring Debra Moldow. She is the co-producer of this show. She's the director of Evolutionary Leaders, and she's also an ordained interfaith minister committed to assisting the transformation of human consciousness to a culture of peace. Welcome, Debra. And our nonprofit organization tonight that we are going to be sponsors is connected with the Evolutionary Leaders. It's the Source of Synergy Foundation, which is the foundation that hosts the Evolutionary Leaders, which has helped to create this show. The foundation is dedicated to creating opportunities that support a conscious evolution for global transformation. They are supporting this global ripple that's happening now, that's expanding evolutionary planetary consciousness. And we would love your support of them. We're going to share more about that later, and I'll be posting the links for the donation in the chat room, and it'll be on our email that you receive afterwards. But now it's my total pleasure to introduce Reverend Deborah Moldow. She assisted this show, and she brought every speaker on the show tonight as a part of the Evolutionary Leaders, which is a project of Source Synergy Foundation. She's also an ordained interfaith minister, and she contributes through international peace work, international efforts, speaking and writing, which are all parts of movement of awakening humanity. She's also the founder and president of the Garden of Light, which produces an online platform for emerging spirituality. And I would say this is her life passion, is really fostering the awakening of humanity that's happening now, which is why it was so wonderful to work with her on this amazing show. Thank you, Debra. And I'd love for you to share the inspiration of this show and all about what inspired you. Welcome, Debra.
Thank you so much, Deborah, and Scott, too. I'm so delighted to be with you and the Global Peace Tribe this evening to present some of the inspiring members of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle of the Source of Synergy Foundation. You know, many members of the Evolutionary Leaders Circle have already appeared on Saturday Night Alive shows, including Deepak Chopra, Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton, Jean Houston, Reverend Michael Beckwith, my beloved Kristen Hoffman, and many, many more. And tonight's brilliant guests will address in different ways our theme, as above, so below, honoring the relationship between Gaia and humankind. During almost 2 years of pandemic, we learned how painful it is not to be able to touch one another. But how often do our feet get to touch the earth? We live in an unnatural state of disconnection from our mother planet, from her living plants and animals, from one another, and perhaps even from our own true nature. So tonight, we're going to explore how to find our way, not back, but forward to new ways of seeing ourselves and connecting deeply with one another and our beautiful Gaia. Something inside us is yearning for this. So let's take a deep breath together. Let's do it right now. And feel our connection to the earth, and feel our heartbeats synchronizing with one another and with all living beings in our earth community. And now, let's begin.
Thank you so much. What an amazing show we've got. Really, really beautiful. Well, you know, we always like to start with music. And I'm going to put the spotlight, he wasn't expecting it, but I'm putting the spotlight on Lloyd Barty right now for a quick second. This is Lloyd and his partner, Debra. They did not know I was going to do this. But Lloyd has been providing us with some amazing musicians. And you'll get a chance to meet Lloyd tomorrow. He's going to be on my Sacred Sunday show. A big thank you, Lloyd, Debra, watching from Ashland, Oregon. And thank you for the amazing people that you bring to us, including who we're looking at right now. This is Namid Wolf and Casey House and their partner, Red. And they are fantastic. They are going to provide us with some of our initial musical offerings. They're going to play twice tonight. Just a little bit about Namid. She really weaves worlds with her words, which go over homemade, fresh beats, baked straight from the soul. As you're about to see, her style is raw, fresh, organic, and very uniquely her own. Casey, her partner, also lives in Ashland, Oregon. We've got a lot of Ashland, Oregon energy tonight. Gary and Linda and Lloyd. So it's a real Ashland, Oregon night tonight. Anyway, welcome, Namid, Casey, Red. What do you got for us right now?
Hey everyone, thank you for having us. Thanks, Lloyd, for bringing us on here. We love you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Lloyd.
It's truly an honor to be here and to share our hearts through your song. We love this song. I love this song.
You know, I'm going to come in for a moment because even though we did a sound check an hour ago, something has changed. There is a pretty loud buzz going on, and we're having trouble hearing Namid.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but there is, it sounds like there's a buzz going on that's definitely influencing our sound. It sounds like, almost like a consistent hum.
Okay, we're gonna fix it real quick.
Yep, and this is, you know, this is the thing to remember, everybody. We're all coming from our living rooms, right? We're, you know, it's a remarkable thing that all these incredible people are coming to us from their living room, and that's part of the magic of Saturday Night Live and part of the challenge sometimes.
You still hear that hum coming through?
It's much later. It's not a problem. I can hear it, but it's not getting in the way now of your voice.
Okay. All right. Would you like us to share our song now?
Yes, we'd love that.
Can you hear his guitar coming through?
Yes, we can.
Great. Okay.
This is called Origami Mommy. So you take your misty, taught me patience, amazing grace, lessons in mistakes. When you do your dance, I'm connected to your ways. I'm a paper sailboat caught up in your waves. That was all it Tarot, nothing left to say.
She's an origami mommy and her heart is made of paper. Eyes laid up on me, they're like knives sharp as razor. Greater than, oh, so loved by the creator. Layers to nature's secret recipe of flavor.
Fold my edges, turn me outside in. I'm your pretty paper queen, dancing in the wind.
Origami mom,
Origami me,
origami mom,
origami me,
origami mom,
origami me,
origami mom.
origami me. You gotta be patient, align my edges and chasing. We can take a trip staycation. The sun always shining was fading, jumping on the frame you were waiting. I was looking out the window, it was raining. Beauty in the storm, I'm raining. Vision with a dreamlike arrangement. Petals on my wrist, gold inside my fold, silk up on my skin, divine inside my bones. Put me in your pocket, take me home. I will always listen to you so that you're never alone. First grade flood, 60 cups and shiny flowers. Nothing's what it seems, so when we're on the dream boat, going down the stream, slow, going neon green, so butterflies, butterfly, what's it even mean? No, Fibonacci patterns on me.
She's an origami mommy and her heart is made of paper. Eyes laid up on me, they're like knives sharp as razor. Greater than this paper, also loved by the creator. Layers to her nature's secret recipe of flavor.
Fold my edges, turn me outside in. I'm your pretty paper queen, dancing in the wind.
Origami mom,
Origami me,
origami mom,
origami me,
origami mom,
origami me,
origami mom.
origami me.
She's an origami mommy and her heart is made of paper. Eyes are laid upon me, they're like knives sharp as razor. Nothing greater than this labor, also loved by the creator. Nature's secret recipe flavor.
Fold my edges, turn me outside in. I'm your pretty paper queen, dancing in the wind.
Origami mom,
Origami me,
origami mom,
origami me,
origami mom,
origami me,
origami mom.
origami me.
Thank you very, very, very much. There was a little bit of a challenge with the mix. I sent you some notes on text, but we'll hopefully have it squared away for your second song. And people can learn much more about Namid Wolf. She's all over. She's on Instagram and Spotify and Facebook. This is her Instagram account. Again, it's Namid Wolf, Namid WOLF. And then her partner, Casey, it's really easy to find him because it's his name, Casey-House.com, Casey-House.com. And you can discover all about the living library coming from the vision of Akasha. So definitely that's where we can get much more from Casey and Namid. Want to thank all of you, and we'll look forward to seeing you a little bit later on in the show.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you.
All right. And to introduce our first actual full speaker, here is Reverend Deb.
Thank you so much, Scott. It was really important that we begin this show with an Indigenous perspective. So I'm so excited to introduce you all to Constance Buffalo of the Red Cliff Band of the Chippewa Nation. And Constance was traveling, so she was not sure that she could be with us this evening. But when I heard that, I remembered a private talk that she gave to our Evolutionary Leaders Circle last April that moved us so deeply. And so you're going to hear something very special tonight, something that others outside of our circle have never heard before. That special video that we're going to share with you. And I want to recommend that you listen very closely, because every time I hear her, I learn more from Constance Buffalo. So let's hear her now.
It's a pleasure to be with all of you. As we begin this today, we would always, if we were doing this in a traditional way, we would always be bringing in our ancestors and asking them to sit with us and to be with us and to listen to our words and to give us their wisdom and to share it. And so I'm going to begin this day inviting in all of your ancestors to be with us and to have you as the apex of all of those generations, and you as the fulcrum that will take us forward. Well, when we pray, we include all of our relations in our prayers. This doesn't mean just your grannies, nieces, and nephews. It means everyone and everything in the circle of life. Our creation story tells us that all life emanates from the great mystery. We call this Gishe Manidu. You would know some of our words are Anishinaabe Moan, also called Ojibwa, from Longfellow, by the lakes of Gitchigumi. Gitchi is Anishinaabe Moan. Gitchi is Great Lake is Gumi. But in our way of saying, just changing that word a little bit from Gitchi to Gishe, it's the same spelling. It's that great mystery that's infused with nurturing and life-giving and regeneration and caring. And it's not a deity, it's a ubiquitous presence that moves like an energy through all of life. So from this great spirit, every aspect of creation has its own spirit, its own manidu and purpose for being. Together, they form a creation that is both sacred and meaningful. We humans are the last of the creatures who came to Earth, according to our stories. Before us came the stars and cosmos, the lands and oceans, the beings of the skies and waters, the singers in the form of birds who carried the seeds of life into the four directions and spread life across the earth. Every being of creation was born with a purpose, and the world flourished. Humans, as the last to be created, saw all those who went before them as their ancestors, as their elders. And through this awareness, our relationship to the world around us was born. So when we call in our ancestors in prayer, it means that we're calling all those who have gone before us. The mountains, the stars, the skies, the smallest, the seen, the unseen, all of the elements of what is called Earth, our mother. As the youngest, it's for us to listen and to learn from all of them, because we know that they can live just fine without us, but we can't live without them. I began with the story of our cosmology because from that cosmology, we form our values. Earlier in our Ojibwa beginnings, we were given 7 gifts from the 7 grandfathers in the spirit world. These were wisdom, love, respect, bravery, honesty, humility, and truth. Our ancestors were also told that with each of these gifts comes their opposite. And it's for us to find the balance and choose what gives life its meaning. The look at values leads us into this time, your time. Hundreds of years ago, when my ancestors were living on the East Coast, prophets came to them and told them what was ahead. These prophecies, called fires, initiated our great Algonquin migration across the country. And 6 of the 7 fires, these prophecies, have been fulfilled. There remains only the 7th prophecy, and half of this prophecy is for you, not for the Ojibwa people. It says that the time will come when you will decide between 2 roads. If you choose the right road, then the 7th fire will light the 8th and final fire, an eternal fire of peace, love, brotherhood, and sisterhood. But if you make the wrong choice of roads, then the destruction which you brought with you will cause suffering and death to all of Earth's people. We believe we are in that time now. The balance of the circle of life is breaking in ways that may never be mended. In our lack of respect for our more than human relations, we're exterminating 150 to 200 species each day. Timing. It's now for us to remember who we are in the circle of life and to act now before it's too late. And here's the good news. First and foremost, we're not alone. We have the power and energy of a tribe, not just the tribe of humans, but that of the living system that we're a part of. You are empowered by your spirit, your Moulton, and connected to the spirits of the life around you, interwoven together by Gishe Moulton, whose breath and presence is the energy of life itself. You are a living miracle of creativity, intelligence, wisdom, and action. All of these choices come now at this turning point when technology can connect us to each other in a way that has never before been possible. David Suzuki says that it takes 3.5% of the population to hit the tipping point where the trajectory of destruction of life can shift. Pray, listen, create, and act together. Humble yourself to possibilities. The power is in our human and non-human tribe to come together, share ideas, and choose the right path. As I think of the paths, one is of taking exploitation and greed, and the other may be that of giving, respect, and reciprocity. But I don't believe they're static. I believe they're alive and created by our intentions, actions, and desire to mature as humankind and help create a future worthy of our children. What if we together used our influence in all our networks to educate and ignite the awareness and actions of our respective constituents? Perhaps it would be our gift back and take us one step closer to that 3.5 solution. For you and all my brothers and sisters, miigwech, I will remember you. I will remember you in my prayers and hold you forever in my heart. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Constance Buffalo. She's a longtime friend of mine. It's good to see her again. She is doing a very special collaboration with the great Jean Houston. And it's going to be a 7-week online class. So for more information, please go to genehouston.com. genehouston.com. That's where you can get more information about it. And I think Deborah's been putting it into the chat box, which again, that's another reason why all of you watching on Facebook or YouTube want to come on into the Zoom room, because it's easier for us to reach you that way. And speaking of Deborah, I'm going to turn it over to her to introduce tonight's Wisdom Jewels.
Thank you, Scott. What a beautiful show already. And this is one of our special features of Saturday Night Alive, produced by Jay Mayer, executive producer and sponsor, and Jan Kaplan, senior producer. And these are special inspirational sayings that relate to our theme. And they do this a special feature every single show. And here it is now, the Wisdom Jewels.
I've put the spotlight on Jay and Jan, who create these wonderful wisdom jewels for us. And thank you so much, both of you, for all the amazing contributions you make to the show. And I love that you've got the Buddha and Yogananda, but also some of our presenters, Gary Zhukov and Catherine Woodward Thomas. They're in good company. So thank you so much for creating that. That's really fun. And Jay just started a new one. You know, we started with Wisdom Jewels maybe 6 months ago. It's become a wonderful feature. Well, we've got a new feature that we're debuting tonight. This is the Zen Corner. Let's take a look. That's a thumbs up for me. Hey, Reverend Deb, it's spotlight's on you, and we're looking forward to your introduction of our next speaker.
Well, that was amazing and light touch indeed, a touch of light to guide us on our way. Thank you so much. Gary Zhukov is one of my heroes. When I first read his seminal work, The Seat of the Soul, it literally changed my life. I always kept a few spare copies in the house because whenever someone would say to me, "Oh, Reverend Deborah, you're so spiritual. How can I become more spiritual? Where do I begin?" I would give them a copy of Gary's book. And then Oprah Winfrey discovered Gary's wisdom and shared him with the whole world. But Gary has not rested on his laurels. He gives transformational workshops with his beloved spiritual partner, Linda Francis, through the Seat of the Soul Institute. They've written books together. And now Gary has written another groundbreaking book on the next level of our evolution called Universal Human, unlocking the potential of a new era of humanity based on love. Welcome, Gary Zhukov.
Thank you, Deborah. It's such a joy to be here tonight. And especially thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jane, for putting together, Janice, for putting together these beautiful wisdom tools. Thank you, Deborah. And of course, thank you, Scott and Deborah Gusti. And I love hearing Connie Buffalo. She's our neighbor along with Jane Houston. And everything that she said from her culture's wisdom is in my heart. Linda and I were adopted into Lakota culture about 20 years or so ago. And my relationship with nature began before that, when I spent 13 years in the backcountry on Mount Shasta, California. So the relationship with Gaia, with nature, with native prophecy and native creation stories is a deep part of who I am. I am more than that, and so are you. And that is the major transformation, unprecedented transformation in human awareness that is now happening, and it's happening in us. It's a transformation beyond the limitations of the five senses, and the understanding of power is the ability to manipulate and control, into a larger perception that is not limited by the five senses, and in which power is understood and experienced as the alignment of the personality with the soul, whose intentions are harmony and cooperation and sharing and reverence for life, which you can see are very much or the same thing that the Creator told Connie's people so long ago. And this new perception, this new consciousness, is allowing us to see things and sense things and know things and understand things and be with things in entirely different ways than we were able to when we were five sensory and saw power as external. It changes our perceptions of us, changes our perceptions of the world, of the universe, of community, of relationship, of everything. And it's from that perception that I'd like to speak, that new consciousness. And it's not just mine, it's touching hundreds of millions of us now. And within a few human generations, all of us will be multisensory. That means we have more ways to perceive than the single system of the five senses. And from that perception, everything can become startling in its novelty, startling in its new ways of showing us who we are and what we can do, and what our responsibilities are for what we can do. So the theme of this program is as above, so below. And it's a relationship of humankind to Gaia. I would like to suggest that from the new consciousness, and you can experiment with this because it's in you or you wouldn't be here, there is an even larger context in which we can understand the fertility, the potency of our relationship as humankind with Gaia. And in this larger perspective, that relationship takes its place in one that is even larger. And that's the relationship between you and the external world. Because that relationship is more than something confined in you as a relationship to something that is outside of you. From the five sensory perspective, the old consciousness, there's a barrier that is always existent between you and the outside world. As we become multisensory, that barrier begins to dissolve. And you begin to see that all the things that you do to transform yourself transform the world. You begin to see that your power to change the world is the same as your power to change yourself. And you change yourself by learning to distinguish within yourself between love and fear, experientially, in terms of physical sensations in your body, and choose love no matter what's going on inside, such as resentment, competitiveness, overwhelm, jealousy, anger, rage, superiority, inferiority, and no matter what's going on outside of you, such as a global pandemic or a 9/11, another 9/11 type event, and choose love no matter what. That's our evolutionary path now. It's more than that. That's our evolutionary requirement. So what does that have to do with as above, so below? It inverts it to as below, so above. Because as above, so below by itself is incomplete. Because as above, so below does not yet contain, and did not contain at the time that understanding of the relationship between us and the outer world was modified, was obliterated, was replaced entirely by a new consciousness in which as below, so above completes that. In other words, from the new consciousness, the macro is the world, and you are the micro, but it's the micro that determines the macro. This is something that the intellect cannot grasp, and the five senses cannot discern. But multisensory perception sees it, and the higher order logic and understanding of the heart that is now replacing the linear logic of the intellect in hundreds of millions of us is allowing us to see these things and to experience these things. All that you do to transform yourself is more than self-transformation. It's world-changing. As your expansion, as your consciousness, as your perception, as your understanding expands far beyond what it was when we were 5 sensory, we begin to see that the love and fear in the world are the same love and fear in us. Let me put that in a more precise way. The love and fear in the world is the same love and fear in you. So in order to change the world, in order to change that, you need to change you. And that's creating authentic power. That's what you were born to do. You were born to move beyond the control of parts of your personality that cannot and do not love, the parts that are angry, jealous, and so on. And where that leads you is directly into love, which is another way of saying directly into an unfiltered, direct experience of the universe. That's the path that we are on. That's where we're headed, but it's not automatic. Our new consciousness is a gift. It is, you might say, automatic because we don't have to develop it. But authentic power, the alignment of your personality with your soul, is a potential. And the only one that can bring that potential into being is you. And the only place you can do that is you. And what you affect is everywhere. Love is instantaneous, universal, and it excludes nothing. As below, so above. I'm so grateful to share these thoughts with you, and I hope that they're helpful. And I pray to our ancestors, which means, as Connie pointed out, life, everything in it, but life beyond what we thought it was. Everything that we can see and what we can't see, everything we can imagine and what we can't see, imagine, everything that is and is not, all of that we are headed toward. Not that we're not there now, but this time we're going there with awareness if we choose. Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you so much, Debra.
Thank you, Gary. I want to read to you there's a lot of comments coming in, but two in particular. Pam writes, I read Universal Human after seeing Gary on an episode of Saturday Night Live earlier this year. And his teachings in this book are so beautiful and necessary. Thank you for having him on tonight. And then Alice Grace asks, well, how do we make that shift? How do we love all those negative aspects of anger, jealousy, feeling better than, competitiveness? And so, Alice, your question is a good segue for Gary and I to let everybody know that there's going to be a very special event. I'm so grateful. Gary and his amazing wife, Linda, have agreed to give us 2 hours of their time to go deeper into answering those very questions. It's going to be on Tuesday night, November 16th, so it's coming right up from 6 till 8 p.m. And so please join us. Now, this is going to be a Zoom meeting. So that means that if you want, people's cameras are on. It's much more interactive, very similar to what we've done with Andrew Harvey, Neil Donald Walsh, and a couple of our other favorite presenters that have agreed to do these special intimate conversations, the Twin Rays most recently. So join us Tuesday night from 6 till 8 p.m. And that's going to be really special. And I do want to also really encourage people to go to the beautiful website that Gary and his wife have created, his spiritual partner. And it's the Seat of the Soul. Earlier, Linda was telling us that they're doing a lot of things there. So there's a lot of ways to connect. You can, of course, find their books there. You can find the different resources that they provide, and it's seatofthesoul.com, seatofthesoul.com. And if you go there and if you go to about their events, programs, all sorts of things, I'm going to take you just briefly to resources and get the books, because Gary's books are amazing. And he's co-authored 2 of them with Linda. And so this is where you can find out. Universal Human is the new book, which everybody is raving about. Of course, Seat of the Soul is that classic that probably every one of us have on our bookshelf already. But there's the new ones that Gary and Linda have written together: The Heart of the Soul, Mind of the Soul, and Spiritual Partnership. And I just want to say for a moment that they are such a beautiful embodiment of spiritual partnership. A lot of us got a chance to talk to them a little bit in our early Zoom room show. They met midlife and have really formed this beautiful partnership that's really helping to play your role in changing the world. So thank you both so much.
Welcome, Scott. Thank you.
Well, we look forward to seeing you on Tuesday night, the 16th. And
Yes.
thank you for blessing us with your presence tonight. Here is, of course, Debra. Debra, wasn't that amazing what he just shared?
It's always amazing what Gary shares. He has so much to teach us because he has himself really gone deep into his own heart and soul to bring forth his wisdom.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Linda. I popped you on Spotlight one more time. So we're twinkling you, and lots of wonderful, wonderful comments are coming into the chat room. Well, as I've happened to have you on camera right now, Reverend Deborah, tonight we want to honor you and the work that you're doing. And she is involved in so many different things. So we're going to actually share with you, our viewers, whether you're watching live right now, we also want to acknowledge all the people who watch our replay. Our statistics show us that about 30% of the people actually watch the replay. So whether you're with us live or replay, this is where you can learn more about how to support the amazing work that Deborah is doing. And so the first place we're going to go to, tell us about the Source of Synergy Foundation, Deborah.
The Source of Synergy Foundation is a very special and unique organization. You're looking now at a picture of its founder, Diane Marie Williams, who is what I would call a quiet visionary, and not so quiet that you wouldn't have seen her presenting on many panels and discussions all over the internet with many of our partners, like Humanities Team, which we'll hear from later in this program. But because the Source of Synergy Foundation is based on this notion that the synergy among us is so powerful that when we come together, the whole is far greater than the sum of its parts.
Beautiful.
And the flagship project of the Source of Synergy Foundation is the Evolutionary Leaders Circle, which we'll get to the book in a minute, because that's another demonstration of this power of synergy. But the Evolutionary Leaders Circle was born almost simultaneously with the foundation itself as its flagship project, and it was co-founded with Deepak Chopra, whom Diane met very early on in the life of the Source of Synergy Foundation. And our first meetings were at his venues. And out of the first meeting that we did out in California at the Chopra Center in Carlsbad, Bruce Lipton stood up and he said, we need, when our founding fathers came together, they made a declaration. We need a declaration of our shared intentions. And the Evolutionary Leaders Group at the time, it was 35 people then, and a lot of them very well known, came together and co-wrote the Call to Conscious Evolution. And you can find that on our website at evolutionaryleaders.net, and you can sign on to the Call to Conscious Evolution. Close to 50,000 people have said, you can see more than 48,000 people have signed on to the Call to Conscious Evolution in this time. I think that was 2008 that we first posted it as a petition. And
Deborah, I just want to make sure people have because sometimes they can see it, but if you're just listening, you go to evolutionaryleaders.net, evolutionaryleaders.net. And everybody right now, let's go there right now, put in our email address, and really, let them know that we support this call for evolution, because that's what Saturday Night Alive is all about. I love that I can just
absolutely.
Right, so I'm not a robot.
This is the global, I love what you call the global peace tribe, because the way I see the evolutionary leaders, yes, we have famous people like Deepak Chopra and Gary Zhukov, and visionaries like all of the speakers on this program this evening. But in the beginning, when we would get together, I would think, well, I'm supporting this, I'm doing the work in the background. I'm not an evolutionary leader. And Diane, who is, the first visionary behind this, kept saying, of course you are. And during one of our meetings, we were sitting in a circle, and I suddenly got a vision of a wave coming up on the shore. And that wave was the new consciousness. And everyone who was at the edge of that wave was leading the evolution. So the evolutionary leaders who are members of the circle, they're some of the visible leaders of this evolution, but everyone who's watching this program
absolutely
is an evolutionary leader.
Each and every
and it's the Source of Synergy Foundation that brought forth that vision, and it's a vision of radical equality, because you are an evolutionary leader if you claim that you are on the forefront of this evolution. You're making a difference. You're bringing us into the new paradigm that we all want to build together, new relationships like we're talking about this evening with one another and the earth.
Beautiful. So there are 3 ways we can support this great work that she's doing. Several of the people, oops, I didn't want to show that. Several of the people that she works with have come together to write this amazing book called Our Moment of Choice. And so if people go to ourmomentofchoice.com, order your copy right now and tell us a little bit about who some of your evolutionary leaders are that participate in this book, Deborah.
There are 43 evolutionary leaders who contributed to this book. And there is our beloved Greg Braden, who I know has appeared on this show.
Several times. Yeah.
When we came together for this book, he is the one who gave us the title.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And it was the first time we thought about a book, was about 10 years ago. And Greg said, I have this title and my publisher doesn't like it. So we're not going to use it. You can have it if you want. And we couldn't manifest the book in those days. And then a little more than a year ago, one of our evolutionary leaders named Bob Atkinson said, couldn't we do a book together? And we said, well, Bob, we tried to do a book, but we really need someone who'll step forward and steward this project. And he did.
Wow.
And he and I and Dr. Kurt Johnson are the co-editors of this book. And we put it out to the evolutionary leaders. We said, who would like to submit a chapter to this book that will be called Our Moment of Choice? And all of these 43 evolutionary leaders answered that call.
Amazing. So go to ourmomentofchoice.com, order the book, and look at all the goodies that you get along with it. You get stuff from Reverend Michael, one of our favorite presenters, Joan Borisenko, Steve Farrell. You're going to hear from Steve later tonight.
Oh, and you have to see the trailer for the book. There's a 3-minute trailer that starts with Michael Beckwith, and he's just brilliant.
Beautiful. All right. So go to ourmomentofchoice.com. Now, there's one last option for people, and that is just to flat out donate. And of course, that's what we normally do. We've raised over $150,000 on Saturday Night Live for various individuals and organizations. And tonight we are supporting the Source of Synergy Foundation. So please go and order the book and also make your donation right now. And you guys know how to do it. You take your trusty camera that's on your cell phone and you go right there and look at what shows up. It pops right up and it's easy to donate. And I love that we can do this now. It just makes it so easy. So use your camera and go there. You can do it that way, or just go to Source of Synergy Foundation.
.org.
.org.
And it is a 501c3, so your donation is fully tax deductible in the United States.
Great. So I'm going to leave this up for 30 more seconds so people have time to get their cameras there. I see Janice Kaplan is doing
Thank you, everyone who's donating. Source of Synergy Foundation tends to be behind the scenes and doesn't have a chance to ask people to support us this way. So we're doubly grateful to anyone who donates tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Reverend Deborah. We'll be hearing much more from you a little bit later on. And thank you for the great work you're doing and all these different ways that we can support you. And let's all do that. Get the book. It's great. She sent me a copy of it. It's so good. So it's like a greatest hits of Saturday Night Live and more people that we haven't had yet. So how about some music, Deborah? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I am putting the spotlight on our other musical artist tonight that we are really happy to have with us. We've got David Kai. And David Kai is also been brought to us by our dear friend Lloyd Barty. He was raised with song, sunshine, and salt water in his veins. Yes, David is a California native. You'll find the message in his music is universal. He draws no lines of separation by labeling his music as anything other than from the heart. David was introduced to music at a young age by his grandfather, who was also a talented musician, so it's in the gene pool. And as a youth, David's first love of music began when he heard the drums. He's played the drums in every genre from punk to jazz, while also expressing himself through skateboarding and surfing. So he has traveled the world. He's been all over Indonesia, New Guinea, South America, Hawaiian Islands. He's a free spirit. Today, we get to hear him play guitar and sing. David, welcome to Saturday Night Alive.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me be here. Say thank you to Lloyd for thinking of me too. And thank you for all the speakers so far. It's been really awesome. Yeah, this first song here I have for you is one of my more recent songs.
never come. Words have been provided, all the places that I run, all the places that I hide in, all the places in my mind, all the places that divided. But this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Yeah, this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Yeah, this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Yeah, this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Step forward into song. Step forward where the light is. Step forward into song. Step forward where the light is. Step forward into song. Step forward where the light is. Step forward into song. Step forward where the light is. This war's gone on too long. Yeah, this war that we're fighting. Yeah, this war's gone on too long. Said it's time to let the light in. Yeah, this war's gone on too long. Yeah, this war that we're fighting. Yeah, this war's gone on too long. Said it's time to let the light in. I think the words will never come. Words have been provided. I think the words will never come. Words have been provided. All the places that I run, all the places that I hide in, all the places in my mind, all the places that divided. But this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Yeah, this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Yeah, this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Yeah, this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. So step forward into song. Step forward where the light is. Step forward into song. Step forward where the light is. Step forward into song. Step forward where the light is. 'Cause this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Yeah, this love, it comes for free. Yeah, this love, it has no price here. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, David. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful. David's going to bless us with one more song later on tonight, but I also want to take people to his website. It's his name, davidkai.com. That's David, D-A-V-I-D, Kai, spelled K-A-I.com. And when you go to his website, right in the pretty early up on the right-hand side, you'll see where you can follow him on Spotify or on Facebook. And there's lots of ways you can stay connected with him. Certainly, make sure you put your email address in there so that, you can stay in touch that way. And go to his Facebook page. He's got a wonderful Facebook page. So, David, thank you so much for blessing us with your song. And we look forward to hearing a little bit more from you a little bit later on in the show.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate being here. Thank you.
Absolutely. And now I get to turn it back over to Reverend Deb for introducing our next wonderful, wonderful speaker.
The love that has no price. It's what it's all about, isn't it? Thank you, David. It is just a joy for me to introduce my friend, Catherine Woodward Thomas, to the Global Peace Tribe. Her important work on the art of relationship as a licensed marriage and family therapist led to her first best-selling book, Calling in the One, 7 Weeks to Attract the Love of Your Life. And then her latest New York Times bestseller, Conscious Uncoupling, 5 Steps to Living Happily Even After. And Conscious Uncoupling was made really famous by Gwyneth Paltrow, who used it as a conscious roadmap to her own separation. Catherine comes to us tonight in the middle of an important event this weekend that she's doing with Marianne Williamson called Love in Action. So we're doubly thrilled to have Catherine with us tonight. Catherine Woodward Thomas.
Thank you so much, Reverend Deborah. And thank you, Scott and Debra, for having me. I have to tell you that, David, you made me cry. You know, and what moved me so deeply, and I'm going to have to say this about Namid and Casey and the other gentleman playing with them, is we have to get the miracle of these young people who are devoting such high levels of talent to singing about the light and singing about love. And I just want you to know, David, that your song really touched me. Now more than ever, you know, love in action. Constance Buffalo called us to action. Gary and Linda are talking about the action of becoming conscious, becoming self-aware. This beautiful conversation about relatedness in general. And the relationship I want to talk about tonight, in service to the relationship to the earth, to Gaia, is the relationship that we have with the creative energies of life. That, you know, we are just coming off this weekend. It actually ended today, although we're going to make that available to people because it was amazing. We had amazing speakers, like you guys are having wonderful people participating. But Marianne and I invited some of our friends to talk about what does it look like at this time, this pivotal point in human history. And hang on, I just realized I forgot to put my little timer on. Wind me up. And it's, you know, you might need the hook. So I'm going to try and behave myself here. But I think that what we're really looking at is during these dark days, how do we stay generative of love, action that is not reaction from fear in reaction, but love that is generative of the world that we want to leave to future generations, of the world that we want to ourselves to be living in, so that as above, so below, we actually do the work of downloading heaven on earth. And no mystery that this is difficult at this time, because we are walking through this very deep, dark night of the soul. And I think one of the dangers is that it's so easy to collapse into insignificance. Who am I to make a difference? And think that it doesn't matter. One of the stories that was told to me, and I was trying to remember who said it, I think it was Andrew Harvey, but I'm going to have to go back and listen, but it really moved me deeply about how much each and every one of us matters at this time. And this person told a story about a Midwestern woman, middle-aged, was married, had been kind of a good citizen, donated to charities. But one day she got really real and she asked her heart, what do I love the most? What do I really care about? And she cared about cheetahs. That's what came to her. She cared about cheetahs. And so she started to research cheetahs, and she found out that there were only a few hundred left, that the species was going extinct. And she had $700 in the bank. And she said to her husband, sweetheart, I have work to do. And she took that $700 and she moved to Africa. All she had was her commitment to make a difference, to be love in action. and to actually begin to define her life, not from the circumstances of what's happening in the world, not from the pain of the world, trying to fix it or save it, but from a sense of possibility that she just began to feel at the center of her soul, like, I can do something about this. And do you know that for her efforts, there are now thousands of cheetahs? That one woman, I think there's 5,000 cheetahs now. And that's her life work. That's the contribution she made. So each of us has that call. I will tell you that we are at a time where the old system of how we create things is insufficient to what's needing to be created. Meaning, in other words, we're kind of goal oriented. We've kind of got it down. Like if you want to, you want to build a house, you need this many bricks, and here's the plans, or you want to go to graduate school, or even you want to write a book, you figure out what the formula is for a book proposal, and maybe you need a book agent, and you can call people, do you know a book agent, and how do I write that letter? When we're talking about creating the new paradigm and being of use and surrendering to life, use me as a co-creator of that future, not relating to God as a parent in the sky, like, God, please give us this, please have mercy on us, please save us, God. That's where we're kind of relating to God as a parent. And what we need now is an adult relationship with the creative energies of life, where we step into partnership. So we're not relating to the universe as a parent in the sky, we're relating to the universe as our partner and taking a stand for a future that is unreasonable and unpredictable and unforeseeable. You will not know how to draw up the plan on how to get there. That's why the cognitive system, the logical system, which is so helpful in other areas of life, it won't work here. Where we need to go is into an intuitive relationship with life, where we're leaning in and we're listening for that which lies in the unimagined. Some of the world that we are seeding right now, we may never see in our lifetimes, but it's the noble work, and it makes our lives beautiful and worth living. It's the noble work of our time to take a stand. One of the things I do in my own practice is that I listen to the ancestors of my past for guidance and wisdom, but I also listen to the ancestors of the future. And I ask them, who would you have me be? What would you have me stand for? The answers I get are always way beyond my own identity. If I let my self-doubts get in the way, who am I? I'm not ready. I'm not good enough. Those are the things that slow us down and take us out. We have to get outside of our own concepts of ourselves and begin to expand our identity. And imagine even that if this is what is happening, and we are here at this time of what is happening, that we chose to be here. Because even though our personalities might be insufficient to the task at hand, our souls are not. And your soul is coded with the future that is wanting to be born. And you are on the transition team. So just try on that identity. One practice that I began with myself is that I started to train myself to think in terms of what is good for the whole, as opposed to what is good for me. It's one stage of development to say what is good for me. If you were never mirrored as a child and you got disconnected from yourself and you actually don't know what's good for you, it's good to ask yourself, what is good for me? What is right for me? What is true? What is mine to do? What is mine not to do? What's my yes? What's my no? But we don't want to stop there. The moment you have that, then you have to train yourself to be a leader of love in the world. You know, leadership is not authorized from the externals. Leadership is authorized from within. You're a leader of love because you choose to be a leader of love, because you love life so much that you just say yes to surrendering yourself to being of service to the light. This is a very dark time that we are in, and it looks likely that it will probably get darker before we are done with our transition. And so the impulse is to make our lives smaller or to turn away from what's happening. And what I want to invite us to do is to stay present to everything that's happening and to lean in and to listen for the future that's wanting to be born and to ask life, what is mine to do today? And here's the key. You're not going to get the whole download. You're only going to get your next step. And you have to be brave. And when you get scared and you think that somehow you're alone, affirm to yourself who you really are and what you came here to create. Soothe that younger you that's in your belly saying, no, you're not enough, or no, you're all alone in the universe. Who are you? And remember that you are indeed chosen because you have chosen to be chosen, and have the courage to take that one step toward the light. I'll end just with one of my favorite quotes by Mary Oliver. Keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. Thank you very much.
Oh, Catherine, thank you so much. There's so many things you shared that are powerful. I love that idea, the ancestors of the future. I'm always big about praying to the ancestors, but I hadn't. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. And I also really want to acknowledge that as you told the story of the woman with the cheetahs, and as you shared, what I'm hearing is not to be disempowered and, looking to God to solve everything, looking outside of ourselves to solve everything, and not being in reaction to what we see that we don't like, but to respond and to bring forth that highest part of ourself that really needs to show up at this time, which is very similar to what Gary and Linda have been sharing. There's like that theme that's emerging of, okay, becoming the universal human, becoming multisensory, really drawing upon why we're here and what we're all truly capable of. And you just give so many different elements to that so beautifully, so eloquently. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Scott,
yes.
You see why we call these people evolutionary leaders.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And oh my gosh, Catherine Woodward Thomas, this is her website, and it's her name, Catherine, spelled with a K, Katherine, Woodward Thomas, THOMAS.com. And this is this incredible event that she just put together with almost all of our friends, everybody, but all but one of these people has been on Saturday Night Live. So what a great event. And now, can people still go and sign up to get the?
Yes, we are. It was such an amazing, inspirational event. Just to hear everyone's wisdom and everyone's perspective was so moving. So we are going to make it available. People have been signing up. The event ended at 2:00 Pacific time, and I just saw that people have been signing up after the event even.
Great. So people can still get the.
Yeah, so we'll send them the recordings. Yes, for sure.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for being with us, Catherine. It's really been just wonderful to have you with us, and I hope you'll come back again soon.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
We are one. We are one. We are one. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, 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 oh. We are one. One love. We are one. One love. We
We are one love. And isn't it beautiful? These amazing presenters and all of us are part of this incredible movement that all of our presenters are speaking of, in the case of our musical artists, singing about. And I want to thank all of our broadcast partners that are helping us to reach thousands of people every week. A big thanks to Unify, certainly our most significant broadcast partner. Many thousands of people watch us on Unify every Saturday night, so thank you. And I also want to thank John and Summer Raymer with the Sign Network that helped to reach over 100 Facebook groups and pages every week. Alan Steinfeld and his YouTube channel, and all of our other broadcast partners. Thank you so much for helping us to reach so many. I also want to invite those of you watching on these different Facebook groups, pages, YouTube channels. You can still come on in. The show's only about halfway over. Plus, we've got a great after show. So come on in. Go to globalpeacetribe.com. That's globalpeacetribe.com and register. It takes about a minute, and then boom, you're in our Zoom room with us, and you can interact directly with all these incredible presenters that you're seeing tonight. So please do join us by going to our website, globalpeacetribe.com. I also want to say that we're really excited that we are working with a new sponsor, Neurohacker Collective, that creates Qualia. And yes, I've been using this product for a couple of years. It's an incredible product. The owners of the company are personal friends of mine, and the company has really grown. It's become enormously successful because the products are so amazing. So I want to show a short little video, and you're going to see my friend James and his brother Daniel. Their last name is Schmachtenberger. I've known the Schmachtenberger boys for many years. They're good friends of mine. And these products are amazing. And so let's take a look a little bit more and learn why they're so important for us to be using. You know, people ask me, Scott, how do you get so much done? Because I really have two full-time jobs. There's Scott the Love Coach, coaching couples and training other love coaches. And then there's Scott that produces not 1, 2, but 3 shows a week. Of course, this one, and also Straight Talk on Friday nights and my Secret Sunday show. I don't drink coffee. I don't take caffeine. I use Qualia. I'm 65 years old and I've got great energy. And I really do believe it's because I'm using these really advanced anti-aging nootropic products. So what's cool is because they're my friends, Qualia is giving us a really nice commission. I'm going to be honest, transparent. We're getting a really nice commission for promoting their products, and they're giving you a special discount. So if you go to their main page, which is neurohacker.com, that's neurohacker, as in what is helping our neurons here. And use, whatever it is you buy, use the code SNA for Saturday Night Alive, SNA. And in addition to the 50% off, you're going to get another 15% off. So again, please go to neurohacker.com and order up, give it a try. It's all, by the way, 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked. So you've got nothing to lose. Get the Qualia, get the life, get the mind, and let's all anti-age together because we've got great work to do in the world. And each and every one of you is doing great work. Some of you get to be on the show and on the panel, but I know that all the people watching this show are all, like to say, you're all cells, imaginal cells in the new butterfly, the new paradigm that we're creating. And we need to have great energy for it. Speaking of great energy, to continue our Global Peace Tribe announcements, here's my partner, Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And I can testify to Scott's energy. Producing a show, 3 shows every week is pretty amazing. And I know he's been using it and I'm starting to use it now because we could all use that support for all that we're wanting to accomplish and be at this time in our lives. So it's great to have them supporting us and supporting you. And speak about supporting, the Global Peace Tribe really would love your support. It really takes a village to do this show every single week. So we'd love you to support us by promoting to your friends and family. If we're going to be showing you the promo video for next week, and that's a great way is just to share the promo video out on your email or out on your Facebook, which is really wonderful, or and share the link for people to sign up, because word of mouth is golden. So you sharing with your friends and family is really helpful. And again, thank you for all your donations. The donations are really what help move Saturday Night Alive forward. And thank you for the donations for Source of Synergy. It's really the power of community giving the green love back to what can really empower us positively going forward that really makes a difference. And we are looking for more sponsors. If you'd like to promote a show in the future and really get your message out to thousands of people all over the world, please contact me. And we do have some team positions open for virtual assistant and marketing. So if you want to be part of this incredible team, contact me. I'm going to put all these links in the chat room, but they're always in our email that you get if you've signed up to register and are part of our Zoom room. Or you can go to globalpeacetribe.com. And next week, we have an amazing show. Every show is amazing, but this is really different. The theme is Tech for Good, Uplifting Humanity. So we have on this very unique show some of the high-level mover and shakers of the tech industry that have also gone through an awakening process. So they realize that the power of technology that's evolving now can be used for good for humanity on the planet. And everyone on the show next week has a mission of that. We have Tom Chi, who's the former head of Google X, who developed the self-driving car and Google Glass, and another person, Lucien Tarosky, who's a Davos World Economic Forum young global leader who travels the world leading initiatives to fulfill the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and many others. And we're going to show the video to you now that shares about this.
There is a movement in business and technology occurring now to create tech for good, for the upliftment of humanity and consciousness. It is led by leaders of vision, heart, and soul, with decades of experience, who are now devoting their brilliance to serve humanity and Mother Earth Gaia. Imagine a world where AI and other cutting-edge technologies are no longer manipulating and diminishing us. Imagine a world where centralized power is moved into the hands of the people and our communities. Buckminster Fuller said, "You never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." Our upcoming guests on Saturday Night Alive are doing exactly that, creating a new playing field. Dan Mapes, inventor of the Spatial Web and founder of Versus Technologies, a spatial AI company helping to create the next generation web of AI-powered metaverses, while also protecting users' privacy and stopping most hacking. Julius McCrower, managing director of Evolve Ventures, which funds companies that elevate consciousness and end personal suffering. Edward Hickman of Anatha.io, a social platform with the mission to provide a universal basic income for all global citizens. Tom Chi, former head of Google X with self-driving cars and Google Glass. Tom is now founder of @One Ventures, funding companies that regenerate planetary health. Lucien Tarnowski, a Davos World Economic Forum young global leader, is curating a network of United Planet games to envision and create the new world they wish to live in. The Tech for Good movement is happening now through these and thousands of other leaders like them. Come hear their stories and be inspired and delighted by this new world of elevated consciousness and empowered human potential, evolving to a new golden age renaissance that has already begun. As always, we have visionary artists providing music and visual treats. We are delighted to bring back Andrea Brooke, also known as Sonic Butterfly. We have a new musical artist to introduce our audience to. Meet Ben Harris, also known as Yamanjo. And we are featuring the high-tech visionary art of Android Jones, as brought to us by Wisdom LA. Our collaborative partner for this show is Ruby Ye, who will be co-hosting with Scott Katamas and Debra Giusti. This will be an especially dynamic edition of Saturday Night Alive. If you have not registered for Season 7, do so now. Go to www.globalpeacetribe.com.
Yes, that is the voice of our dear friend Kristen Hoffman, who did the voiceover. And I want to thank Alan and Son from Virtual World Studios that do such a great job making these promotional videos for us. You know, we've got a really special event taking place tomorrow, and I want to really encourage everybody to come to it. We have chosen 3 of our favorite masterful performers, Sean Jay, Valerie Romanoff, and Johanna One Heart Beekman, for an evening of mirth, music, and magic. Sean, of course, is an amazing magician. Johanna and Veronica play beautiful, soulful music, and they have come up with a wonderful way to interweave that's going to be very unique and very creative. And again, this is a Zoom meeting. It's interactive. We're going to be able to see those of you that come on camera with us. Now, if you want to just watch, you can watch and turn your camera off. But for people that want to interact with us, it will be interactive, including some of Sean's magic. See, my dog is very excited about this. So please join us tomorrow, that's Sunday, from 5 till 7 o'clock Pacific time. And you can still register at globalpeacetribe.com. Also, Debra is putting a direct link into the Zoom room. So please do join us. It's going to be so much fun. And I'll be there kind of coordinating and serving as ringmaster. I love those 3 people. So I'm really excited about the show they're going to do. And definitely help promote next week's show because it's going to be so unique, these technology geniuses. Really, really powerful. And to share with us about another special event coming up, I'm turning it back over to Debra.
Thanks, Scott. And I want to remind everyone again that we have the seminar with Gary and Linda. This is workshops we're doing, which again are 2-hour experiences with Gary and Linda, so we can go really deep. And again, it's a Zoom meeting, so we're all there together and people can be there to ask questions and go really deep to all the wisdom they have to share. The title is Coming into Full Alignment with Gary Zhukov and Linda Francis. And they have such a wealth of information to share at this time. And this is going to be November 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Of course, we will tape it. So if you just like to get it and listen to it later, you can still sign up and get the replay. And we have the special early bird going all the way until the 14th. So please sign up. We're putting the links in the chat room, and they're always in our newsletter and on our website. And another very special event that I want to share, as most of you know, we're coming up to a very strong portal that is the 1111 portal. So what are you going to do to be in high alignment and connected and take advantage of the 1111 portal? There is an event that is 1111 Unified Virtual Experience, co-creating coherence and the emergence of a unified alliance. It's a whole day experience with 55 inspiring people, presenters, as well as music, visionary, and more. So very similar to what we do here, but it's something that you can join on the 1111. And they are going to be donating also to Dr. Emoto's Peace Project that will bring children the messages of the water in a children's book. So I'm going to be posting that link in the chat room. And Scott and I are actually being featured on there too. So you can watch us share more deeply about our experience of giving you the Saturday Night Alive.
Great. Thank you, Debra. And yeah, it's Anastara, who is the person who put this whole thing together, is going to be featured on tonight's after show. So you're definitely going to want to watch the after show. Jay Mayer's got some great stuff planned. We've got some great music, and Anastara will be talking all about the upcoming 1111 event. All right, It is time for some more music. Thank you again, Lloyd Barty, for bringing us, introducing us to Namid and Red and Casey. There they are.
Hi. So sorry about the sound earlier. Can we do a real quick sound check just for a second so you can confirm that we sound okay?
So far, so good. Much better than last time. But
Okay,
yeah,
awesome. We're going to run it for a sec. Let's go. Origami me. Origami ma. Origami me. How was that?
Very good. Casey and Red, for your harmonies, just come closer to the microphone because you guys were a little too soft.
We have the. Come a little closer.
There you go.
All right, this song I wrote is called Garden of Eden, and it's actually about the times up ahead. So I kind of wrote this for all of us and for my own inner child, and yeah, let's go. Awakening the star nations, integrating the newfound vibration, never bound by limitation, free yourself, emancipation, Lyran, Syrians, Octurians, Lumerians, some kind of majesty up in the medicine you'll carry it. Royal codes, truth abodes, Mary's rose, she knows the roads that wind lead you back to love divine, Kundalini rising up my spine, integrating heart and mind. This is real liberation, embodied prayer, meditation, do not fear destruction, it's a part of creation. Don't be afraid, cause I got you, child. The storm will surely pass. And if we stick through, me and you will see heaven on earth at last. Don't be afraid, cause I got you, child. The storm will surely pass. And if we stick through, me and you will see heaven on earth at last. Pluto square, don't be scared. When it comes down, be prepared for the great repair. Ancestors all around, this is for the future generations. Mass cleansing of the nations. The change is here, it's blatant. So where do you stand? And what do you stand for? And do you understand? It's time to understand more. Everything is you at the core. When it rains, it pours. When it burns, it purifies. These are the times they prophesize. Let the new earth materialize right before your eyes. Don't be afraid, cause I got you, child. The storm will surely pass. If we stick through, me and you will see heaven on earth at last. Don't be afraid, cause I got you, child. The storm will surely pass. And if we stick through, me and you will see heaven on earth at last. Got you, child, the storm will surely pass. And if we stick through, me and you will see heaven on earth at last.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'm going to put, there's your friend Lloyd applauding. And thank you, Lloyd, again for bringing these wonderful people into our show. We really appreciate it. Hello, Deborah. And speaking of Deborah's, I'm going to go now to Reverend Deborah to introduce our next presenter.
Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone, for the music. David Nichol, PhD. He's a former environmental lawyer from Australia, and he is the co-founder and director of the Gaia Field Project, and also the Institute for Subtle Activism. And David's book, Subtle Activism, The Inner Dimension of Social and Planetary Transformation, is really the first comprehensive study of the idea that our focused collective intention can powerfully contribute to social change. He's also the co-founder of Earth Rising, a growing global movement to support the transition to the new era of life on Earth through harnessing the power of coherent group consciousness for both personal and collective transformation. And by the way, he's also a very gifted DJ. So I give you David Nichol.
Thank you, Deborah and Scott and Deborah. It's really a deep, exciting moment. Real joy and privilege to be here. I'm honored to follow so much wisdom that's already been shared by everyone tonight. I'm really excited about next week's show. What you just showed is just going to be amazing. What I wanted to share tonight was something about my own journey in terms of my relationship with Gaia, because it's so much of what I do right now is leading groups where we're opening together to realize our deeper unity with the earth and the cosmos in particular. But it hasn't always been the case for me. I grew up regular Western guy in Australia in the cities. I became a lawyer. I have a PhD in philosophy. So, I'm very accustomed to the Western rational mind and all of its its assumptions and all of its ideas that have kept us separate from the earth. So for me, it's been a process. I wasn't one of those people who was seeing subtle entities since I was 3 years old or something like that. For me, it's been a journey and a process. And the initial part of my spiritual journey for many years was much more about realizing and connecting with that place of pure awareness in our depths, that more classic sort of mystical realization of the silent presence, the pure awareness, the pure consciousness that exists in our depths, and that more transcendental aspect of spirit. But somewhere along the way, the connection to earth started to become more and more alluring to me, more and more primary in my spiritual journey. And some of that was moving to California and being exposed to many of the teachings and processes here that open those channels. But it's really been this deepening love affair with the earth that has just called me deeper and deeper into this relationship, and this sense that it's that in this moment, it's a particularly important channel to open in our spiritual journey. And that there's a particular spiritual path to realize our unity with the earth that's a little different than realizing our unity with source itself, and we can cultivate that. And there was this particular moment where there was a kind of quantum leap in my journey, where I was sitting by a tree and I was doing a course. I was leading this course where part of the practice was to make an offering to something in nature. And it so happened at the time, I just didn't have anything on me, like tobacco or any of the normal things that you might think of to give to something from nature. And it just occurred to me to offer something to the tree that I always had. And this was, I had recently done a practice with another group where we all together brought our essence together, the part of us that loves the truth, our sincerity, our honesty, and we created this golden flame of truth, our shared truth of this group. And I connected with that, and I offered that to the tree. And I just sort of sent that to the tree. And then I sat there, and then all of a sudden, for the first time, I felt this complete lack of separation between me and the tree. There was something about that gesture of offering something from my essence, from my heart, and not just my heart, but from the group, that opened this field. And then the tree and I were just one field. And it was this really beautiful revelation. Shortly after that, I was with some friends and we were in the forest, and I thought we could play with this again. And we formed a little circle and we created this field of compassion. We blended our compassion together in the center of the field, created this shared field of compassion. And then we offered it to this pool that was in the forest. And so we sent our compassion into this pool. And again, it opened something very beautiful between our hearts and the pool. So this awakened a certain kind of way for me of how we can connect to the natural world. And we now work with this. We have this series called The Web of Light, which we've been running since 2018, where people from all around the world tune in, and we create these fields of different qualities of our essence, like our shared love, our shared joy, our shared courage, and so on. And then we offer this to parts of the natural world. So we'll send our love into the rivers of the world, or we'll send our joy to the sun, or our courage to the fire element. And we're blending our consciousness with those natural elements. And I feel like there's something very significant about when we open together in such a deep way to nature as a group. All of us love nature, and most of us, I think, we go into the natural world, we can have a beautiful, deep experience of communion with nature, but often it's a private experience. And often we feel like we have to, in some ways, shield ourselves from the cultural framework that we live in, the social realm, in order to have that precious private experience. And what I've been finding with this sort of practice is like what we're doing by opening together our shared heart together to the natural world is that we're planting a kind of seed for a shift in consciousness that's more taking place at the cultural level, that we can start as a culture to inhabit this real world of nature together, where we have a shared understanding, a shared consciousness that, of course, we are not separate from that world. And of course, this is simply returning to that which the indigenous cultures lived, and they reinforced the sense of interdependence with the whole matrix of life all the time, with their rituals and ceremonies and so on. So this is what I'm passionate about. And I'm also so excited and passionate about these emerging powers, these emergent spiritual capacities that come through these coherent group fields that are also open to the natural powers for helping us through this great transition that we're in. And, this is something we're experimenting with here tonight, this experimenting with how do we blend our unique gifts together into some coherent field that has this emergent power. And to me, what's deeply exciting about this is that I feel that many of the collective wounds from the past, the collective traumas from the past that have kept us separate from each other and separate from the earth are now rising up to be healed. At the same time that this new consciousness is emerging and these new capacities of consciousness that actually give us the power to heal them. And that this is part of our initiation into true Gaian consciousness. That's part of this great birthing that we're in right now. And we now have the technologies of consciousness that are emerging to help us heal our past and reconnect together to that awareness of being Gaian together. So thank you so much for this opportunity to weave with you in this beautiful field tonight. And back to you, Scott and Deborah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. And I love people's journeys of life, and what a remarkable journey of life, and a wonderful example of awakening your life's journey is. So thank you for that, and thank you for the courage, because I'm sure it's not always easy to shift consciousness. I'm sure that there were a lot of friends or even family members that might have wondered, what the heck are you doing, man?
Oh, yeah.
I can imagine. Hey, I want to let people know how people can find out more about you. You have a beautiful website, absolutely beautiful. It's earthrising.one. And look at those visuals and really beautiful things you're doing. The Gayatri Circle, Full Moon Experiential Astrology Series, the Web of Light, Planetary Shamanism. So David, what you and your partner there, Kate, are up to is just beautiful. And I sort of look forward to learning more about you and hopefully having you on the show again.
Thank you, Scott. It's just been a joy to be here. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. Hey, we've got a great after show planned. And just to give you a little bit of a taste, here is a trailer all about what's going to be coming up at 8:30 tonight. Fantastic. This is going to be a lot of fun. And we're also going to show that great happiness video with Johanna and Valerie. We played it once before and people loved it. So it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, we've got one more terrific presenter ahead of us. And to tell us all about it, here is Reverend Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. Before I do that, I want to point out something from the chat that Ann Douglas posted on hearing. David got a lot of wonderful comments in the chat, but I particularly loved what she said. She said, we could do this on Saturday Night Alive. We could be a collective force in birthing a new earth. Well, hello, we are. So thank you for acknowledging that, Anne, and thank you, David, for eliciting that understanding in your listeners. So most of us would never have known Steve Farrell if he had remained a successful CEO in Silicon Valley. But something happened to Steve, and instead he followed the call of his heart to dedicate his life to his spiritual truth. He co-founded Humanity's Team with Neil Donald Walsh to serve humanity in awakening to our oneness. As many of you know, Humanity's Team just finished their 2021 Global Oneness Summit with 9 days of free panels on the theme of opening to your universal self, featuring more than 100 visionaries. Steve is at Agape this evening with Michael Beckwith. So he has sent us this powerful video. Steve Farrell.
Thank you, Scott, for inviting me to be part of Saturday Night Alive. It's a great privilege and pleasure to be here and to talk about oneness, this ancient truth, this timeless truth. We just completed our 12th Global Oneness Summit. It's science-based. Its theme was opening to your universal self, a pretty deep topic. So in preparation for the Global Oneness Summit, I visited with Nassim Haramein, who you probably know. He's the world's leading physicist focusing on unified physics. And he has a team of researchers that are based there in San Clemente with him. And they are completing some research that maybe you know about, that's absolutely astounding. Maybe one of the most astounding topics that will come about in our lifetime, really on that level. And it's this whole unified field theory that is the subject of his research. Now, let me just do my best. I'm not a scientist, to just talk about what the conclusions of this research are. First, that the tiniest particles, which he calls quantum scales, and the largest objects in the universe, that his research touches on these and the connection between these, and he brings in something he calls cosmic constants, which are equations that talk about the relationship between these smallest particles and these largest cosmological objects, the relationship between them, the creation of these objects from small to large, the evolution of these, the field that is these objects. And his equations are down at a level of 13 decimals of accuracy, 13 decimals. So in other words, there's incredible research here that's affirming that everything from the smallest particles to the largest objects are connected, have relationship with each other, and where we understand how creation actually began with the Big Bang and the evolution of the universe. And then maybe most importantly, that the universe is alive. It's alive, it's breathing, it's intelligent. It's not dead. Now, the implications of this are absolutely astounding. They're absolutely astounding. What this means is that this whole field, which has been referenced, and the field as being out there, that it's up in the sky, that it's out there somewhere, that the field actually resides in each of us, in me and you, and each person. So, it's often been said that we have access to non-local wisdom and knowledge. This research is accounting for that. The ocean actually lives in the atom, and it's not now just a metaphorical thing that's been shared. It's actually the rock solid peer-reviewed science that's sharing this is true. This is how the universe and we are made. So now things like clairvoyance, where we can see into the future, where we can feel things that are happening in the future. And there are many instances of this in my lifetime. And I'm guessing many instances of this in your lifetime. So this is accounting for clairvoyance. This is the science that's sharing this is how it happens. That this non-local knowledge, wisdom is we have access to. And the clair words, clairvoyance is only one of the many terms that talk about how we have access to and capacities that go beyond just our physical self. This research gives account for all of that. So the implications are astounding, and I'm not a scientist, so I invite you to stay close to Nassim Haramein's research. I think his research paper will come out soon, and again, it changes everything. This is a science that changes everything. Of course, mystics and sacred text have over millennia shared that we are all one, that everything is deeply connected. And now there's a science that actually explains it all, not just the material world, but the physical world, the alive world, which physics has never done before. Nassim's research paper talks about how the entirety of the universe, material and non-material, alive, how we're connected to each other in relationship with each other. Nassim uses the term oneness, that we're an emanation of the one, that we're energetic beings, an emanation of the one, that our energy is affecting the whole. And this is an implication too. It's not only do we have access to this non-local information with things like clairvoyance, but we're actually, when we talk about how the universe learns, it's learning through you and me and each of us. That it's a learning, intelligent learning universe that's learning through all of the drops in the ocean, through each of us. So, and of course, this is something that's been shared too, but now there's a science behind it that talks about how we're a part of the one, how we access information from the one, how the one is actually learning from the particles that are part of the one. This research is bringing all of these things out. So just absolutely extraordinary. Now, the question becomes, what are we going to do with this research? So what are you going to do with this research, with this wisdom, with this new knowledge? Are you going to live your life as the separated being, in this American dream type reality? Or are you going to really embrace this truth now that science is now affirming? It's saying that we are all one, that we have everlasting life, that we have unlimited capacities, that we can access the field, that we are a learning agent for the field. What are you going to do with that? Are you going to be an expression of that? Are you going to live your life as a demonstration of that? Are you going to be an experience of that in your daily life? So this is the big question that's before us. Nassim's done incredible research with his team. He will be acknowledged, probably like Galileo. There will be many that will want to dismiss his research as he brings it forward. But in time, I believe, Nassim believes, that science will acknowledge the truth of our oneness. This will be the reality affirmed by science. So what are we going to do with this research? What are you going to do with this research? And I believe that humankind actually awaits our answer. Now, the research is a little ways out, and I think in the next few months, Nassim will bring it forward. Research is so substantial that Humanities Team, the nonprofit organization that I'm part of, created not only the Global Oneness Summit around the research, but we also created a program that's following the Global Oneness Summit. There's a free program actually that starts this coming week on 11/11, Thursday 11/11. There's a 60-minute program, 5 p.m. Pacific, with Greg Braden. It's called Secret Scientific Discoveries. So if you go to secretscientificdiscoveries.com, you can register for the program. And then Nassim's program is on the following week, his 60-minute program. So I invite you to check that out, become familiar with this research, and then go and be who you are. After really examining this research, I think our notions of ultimate reality can and will shift with this research. It's that substantial.
Very, very powerful. When we had Deepak on the show a while back, he pointed out that in the ancient Shastric scriptures written in Sanskrit, the Vedic scriptures written 7,000 years ago, Brahman, God, was defined with 26 principles. 7,000 years ago, spiritual text, God, 26 principles. In our modern quantum physics, the unified field, which we now scientifically understand is everything that is, has 26 principles. And the 26 principles of the unified field perfectly correlate with the 26 principles of God, Brahman, as written 27 years ago, 7,000 years ago. So our most modern science and our most ancient spiritual wisdom comes together with what all of our presenters are talking about week after week after week, that we are living in this incredible state of awakening to the oneness of us all. I want to thank Steve for being on, and I really want to encourage everybody to get to know Humanity's team. We're going to be collaborating a lot with Humanity's team. They are doing great work, and it's simple. Just go to humanitiesteam.org, humanitiesteam.org. I'm going to have Steve on my Sacred Sunday show in a few weeks. He's going to be on the second week of December. And speaking of my Sacred Sunday show, you've heard a lot about Lloyd Barty. We've put the spotlight on him a few times today. Well, Lloyd is my guest tomorrow. And what I do is on the Sacred Sunday show, I choose people like Lloyd or Steve Farrell, and invite them to come in where we can really drop in for a good hour, sometimes even longer than that, and get to know more about who they are and what their life is all about. Even though it's called Sacred Sundays, it's non-denominational, but all the people that are on this show are people that I believe are leading a very sacred life because they're living their life's purpose. They're living their Dharma. And so tomorrow, I'm really looking forward to having Lloyd on the show. Who knows, maybe if we're lucky, maybe his wife, Debra, will join us as well. That'd be pretty cool. And there they are. I'm going to put the spotlight on them for a moment. Hello, Lloyd and Debra. Looking forward to going deep with you tomorrow, 10 o'clock Pacific time. So that's going to be pretty cool. All right. To introduce our final live performer for the main show, here's Debra.
Thank you, Scott. And what a powerful show again. Thank you so much to Debra and all the speakers. And yes, we love to end with music because that brings us all together, takes us to our heart and connects us all. So we're going to bring back David Kai again for another amazing song. David,
Hey,
welcome.
Thank you. This next song I wrote, I was thinking about how you were talking about above, so below, and about Mother Earth. And I wrote this song for all the mothers and daughters and nieces, for the women in Mother Earth like that. This one's called Hallelujah in the Garden. She is living in the garden, in the beauty where she believes, and the truth it is calling, and her answer is on the wind. She is praying for her children, for all her children to come back home. For 7 generations, and her prayers go on and on and on. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
is coming through you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Spirit is coming through you. We are learning to give in the way that she gives, and we are receiving in our faith and in our believing. So wake into our dreams, into all the joy, into all the joy that love brings. 'Cause you are so beautiful, and your presence makes the angels sing. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through you. She is dancing in the garden, oh, in the beauty where she believes. And the truth it is calling, and her answer is on the wind. She is praying for her children, for all of those children come back home. 7 generations and her prayers go on and on and on. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through there. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through there. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through you. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Spirit is coming through you.
Beautiful, just beautiful. What a great way to close out our main show, David.
Thank you
Thank
guys
you so
very
much. We're feeling it. We're feeling the hallelujah as spirit flows through us. And hey, everybody, please go to David's website. It's his name, David Kai, spelled KAI.com. DavidKai.com. Follow him on Spotify, follow him on Facebook, join his email address. We definitely want to have this wonderful brother back on our show again. And David, thank you so much for blessing us with your music tonight.
Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Aloha.
Aloha. All right. Well, I am bringing Debra, Reverend Deborah, back on, and Debra Giusti. And this is where we want to thank Reverend Deborah for all that she's done to put this show together. You did an amazing job, Deborah. And I do want to let people know, because people are asking how to find out more about you. So here are her, not one, not two, not three, but 4 very important links where we can find out more about all the wonderful things that she's doing. Our momentofchoice.com, that's where we can buy the book. So please go there, buy the book. Evolutionaryleaders.net, see what they're up to. Garden of Light. Now, what's great, I was talking about my Sacred Sunday show, and Reverend Deborah is going to be my guest in a couple of weeks. So we're going to get a chance to learn all about the Garden of Light when Reverend Deborah is my guest on that show. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And then her own actual website, revdeborah.com. So all things Reverend Deborah right there for us. Thank you.
Really, this is what it's about, us coming together and collaborating at such a high level and really being attuned to the common missions and goals. And this is an expression of that tonight, and it will ripple out and continue as we go through these challenging times, but yet come together and transform into the new earth that we came here to birth. So here we are.
Thank you, Deborah Giusti. Reverend Deborah, again, thank you so much. Looking forward to having you on the Sacred Sunday show in 2 weeks. And
thank you to both of you for doing this week after week, bringing the tribe together, and hallelujah, Spirit is coming through you.
Wasn't that just the perfect song?
Perfect.
Amazing. All right, now everybody stick around. We've got a great after show with Anna Stara coming on and telling us all about what's going to be happening on 11/11. Jay's put together a great show. And as kind of a transition song, you know, a reminder that tomorrow night from 5 till 7, we've got Johanna and Valerie Romanoff who are going to be with us. And so I'm going to play this wonderful video that they created. I love it. It's the happiness song. And so this is going to be kind of our transition from tonight's main show into the after show. So get up and dance, because this is a dance video if ever there was one.
Live in happiness for all the world.
Isn't that just the most fun? And it's great to see everybody. I saw Gary and Linda moving and grooving and everybody getting into it. So thank you very much. This is the end of our main show, but stick around for a great after show. I do want to mention again that tomorrow night, you can see Valerie and Johanna and Sean J. And they've put together a really cool show from 5 till 7 Pacific time. So please join us. It's really going to be a lot of fun. And it's only $22. And we'll all be together. And it's going to be a Zoom meeting and interactive and music and magic. So please do join us tomorrow night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, it is 8:29, and I am now going to turn things over to Jay Mayer for tonight's after show. And Jay, you're muted.
Okay, great. We're going to start recording.
We are recording.
Well, I'm going to start. I wanted to start on my machine. Okay. Anyway, well, here we go. I'm going to start with this video. Not that one. This one. Just 1 second. Here. Let me share my screen again. 1 second. This one. Wow. It's not working right. Okay, we'll skip that video and we'll just start. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the planet right now. It's good to be here. I see Anna Starr is with us. Excited for her presence. She's going to join us and talk about this beautiful event that's coming up, 11/11. And I'm sure everyone here knows the significance of 11/11. It's power number. It's a 22. 11 times 11 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you ever want to know a power number. You want to tell us about your event a little bit?
Oh, yes, it would be such a pleasure. Thank you, Jay. I really do appreciate it. Hi, I'm Anastara Mack, mother of 1111 Unified, and really it's about co-creating coherence. And so 1111 Unified this year is a dedicated event with 55 plus presenters. We have music and movement, as well as really powerful panels. I got to interview Debra and Scott recently, and that is one of the segments, Enlightening Media During These Exceptional Times. And so 1111 means something different for everyone. But the thing is it's really about a moment of unification, tapping into source. Whether you say a prayer, whether you make a wish, whether you just take a moment to take a deep breath and drop into the heart. And so some of our featured content is our Global Heart Coherence experience. Howard Martin from the Heart Math Institute will be hosting that segment with us. And I'm very excited. That's at 5 p.m. Pacific time. This is our synchronized meditation moment of the whole day. And so no matter where you are in the world, tune in during that time and we will sync our hearts together in individual and collective coherence. We also have a special Global Coherence Pulse with Teresa Collins. She does beautiful work in the world and she's bringing a lot of musicians together. Marshall Lefritz, Gary Malkin, and others will be joining her for that Global Coherence Pulse. We also have the Panel to Ascension with Neil Gar, Elizabeth April, Celestine Starr, and Laura Eisenhower, and other ladies, where we'll be communicating and transmitting the message of unity consciousness. So join us on 11/11. We do start at 11 a.m. Sydney, Australia time. So that's actually at 4 p.m. on the 10th, on November 10th. So we have an opening ceremony at 3:30, and then we'll lead into our event. And really, our biggest prayer is that we bring in the abundance to share with Dr. Emoto's Peace Project that's bringing 650 million children the children's version of the book Messages from Water. So if you've ever felt the call and wanted to commune with your community on 11/11, we invite you to come and participate. You can just click the link in the comments as well as in the thread here, and that is Deborah and Scott's affiliate link to send you to our 11/11 Unified Virtual Experience website, where you can find out a lot more information. So thank you, Jay, for allowing me to share today.
Right. Well, it's good to be back here. I like doing these after shows. They're sponsored by Light Touch, and Light Touch is tonight's sponsor of the show. So we talk about a little bit about Light Touch and what it is and why it's important to you all. Jan Kaplan's here too. Put Jan on. We do Light Touch every day, 6 days a week. And the beauty of Light Touch is that we all bless each other. Whoever's in the group, we bless, the whole Global Peace Tribe. And if you want, we use feathers. Feathers are a beautiful instrument that activates your electromagnetic field so you can send and receive blessings to the world. And, we need this. We need to have powerful tools that actually connect us to the divine within ourselves. And do you want to add something to that, Jan?
Well, it's truly amazing, when Gary Zhukov talks about going beyond our senses, and we're using the power of touch to send our blessings. So, as in ancient days, people would, put their hands together, so truly, that works as well. But, it is really fun to ignite the spark of our intentions and our prayers in a group. And that's kind of what David Nichol was talking about as well, going into the forest and sending blessings to the rivers, sending blessings to the sun. And so we get together and we have a wonderful pod of people, and we call ourselves a pod, like a little dolphin pod. And we send prayers and blessings out to the universe, to our ancestors. And I believe that we've actually said in our prayers to future generations. So many of the concepts from tonight's show comes through in our intentions and in our prayers when we do Light Touch. So I kind of think of it as an amplification system for our prayers and our intentions, and it's always for the greater good of all. So that's what I wanted to share about that, Jay.
It's true. And let me click this right here. So anyone if you have any feathers around or any instruments, soft instrument like a feather, you can use anything really. But you might want to join us, the Global Peace Tribe. It's, when Jesus talks about when two or more are gathered, that's what the Global Peace Tribe is. I mean, the name is so beautiful and it's so fitting, because this is what it's all about right now, is the whole planet coming together to make a difference. And the time is, this is the time. This is the time that has been talked about, has been written about. It's in all the holy books. We are in trials and tribulations, and there's earthquakes in diverse places, and wars and rumors of wars. So we're here now, and it's also the darkness before the dawn, which is the Aquarian age. We're in the Aquarian age, so that's something to be hopeful about. But it's overlapping, and that overlapping seems very dark right now. But the planet has great potential. I mean, the Earth's been around here for a long time. We used to be dinosaurs running around, and before, other civilizations, Egypt, Atlantis, so the Earth is going to be here regardless of what we do, but we have the opportunity to get it right. And if we all bless each other, just, if you're wondering who to bless the Global Peace Tribe. That's a great blessing because that's us. That's the people that we're of like-mindedness and we want to help the world. And if you don't know what to ask for with your feathers, I'll use feathers because it activates your electromagnetic field, which connects you to the divine within you. And if you know anything about God at all, God is very much into touch. Ladies and gentlemen, touch created us. So there is a connection to the divine with touch. So if you don't know what to ask for miracles. Say, thank you for miracles in my finances, if that's what you need. And use the feathers. Use them because it's the easiest way. They're light. They float in the air. They carry your message to the other realms. If you believe in angels, you can call on the angels. I like to call on Archangel Chamuel, who is the Lord of the third ray, and which is divine love. So that's why I ask for divine love all the time and call on Archangel Chamuel. And I know for a fact that I'm blessed. And I think most of us are pretty well blessed. There's a lot of people that would love to have our lives. So we in our prayer pod, we pray for good fortune. We all bless each other. And it's really working. I've noticed people that do like touch, their lives improve. So we'll put some links in the chat room. Come visit the website. And if you'd like to be involved, we're creating prayer pods for the general public. Anybody who wants to circulate the good energy, amongst ourselves and make a difference. If you're here to serve, this is a great place to be because every time you bless someone else, you're serving. And as you give, you receive. So that's the beauty is, you're giving to hundreds of people, even right now. If everyone just blesses the Global Peace Tribe with your best blessings, we thank you for blessing everyone here and meet everyone's needs. We all have pressing needs, urgent needs. And if we learn how to ask, if effectively, those needs will be met and the universe will open up doors. And this is the power of God acting in our lives, or spirit, or magic, whatever you believe. We have these magical powers. And we're going to talk about a lot of things tonight. Miracles, good fortune, divine love. Thank you for divine love. I do this every night, and we do. People in our prayer pod, you go to sleep at night. Your head hits the pillow. First thing, thank you for divine love. If that's a priority, or thank you for magic and miracles and magical miracles. We're very blessed here tonight to have Teresa with us too. We're going to show her her transmission at Harbin. This is back in a few years ago. It's really a beautiful musical piece. Are you ready to come on? I'll
yes.
You here.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes. Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing the video. We'll bring back wonderful memories.
Yes. So was this a special day there? Or,
it was the Day Out of Time. It was called. Louder. Can you hear me just fine?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yes. It was a very special Harbin event. And it was called the Day Out of Time. And yes, we're going to play it. And maybe I'll do a little prayer after the video.
Sure. I'm just giving you a second here so I can set up the video for you. But you have your bowl. Do you want to test the bowl? Just see how it sounds here.
Okay.
For all of us.
Is that good?
Sounds pretty good when you're ringing it. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be singing or a little bit with it, just chanting something. That I think you're playing the video first, though, right?
Right. Yeah, I'm actually trying to play right now, but my software is not helping me too much. Okay, let's try this. I'm going to see if we can share a screen here. We might come back to that 1 second if, let's see, 1 second.
You have to be real loud.
Jay, you're muted.
Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, sorry. My audio.
That's so weird. Wow, you are such a great audience, and it's really great to be here. And here we go. Add a spotlight. And we're going to see if we can play this video now. This is a day out of time.
I see it.
A Day Out of Time.
Wow. Thanks for playing that, Jay. Jay saw this video and wanted to ask me if you could put it on tonight. And I'm so honored because it brings back so many beautiful memories of our beloved Harbin. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I love and appreciate all of you. It has been such a challenging couple of years. And I just want to send all my love and blessings and peace and heal every heart. And I'll just do a little Om Shanti chant. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, love to you. Blessings, blessings, blessings to every heart. Heal every heart. Heal every heart. Shanti, Shanti, Om Shanti, love, bless, bless.
Thank you so much. You reminded me of bliss. Bliss is the most powerful force in the universe. We create with bliss. Light touches bliss. This is a blissful sensation. It's from the kingdom of blissful sensations. All blissful sensations can reach the divine. Thank you, Teresa. What I liked about that video is I feel like it connects me to the ancestors. I know it's not like, pop music or anything, but, it's spiritual. It's just, I feel like, what is it? The Roman Catholic, with the urns, with the incense. I feel it's got a spiritual presence. It's really beautiful. Not Roman Catholic, but it's just, thank you. So light touch is a real phenomenon. We actually want to go global and worldwide. And, anyone who, if you look inside, the spirit will tell you, like light touch is for people that want to have a better life through invoking it. We have magnetic abilities and powers. And I'm going to play you a video right now. This is a fun video that Jan and I put together from it's called Swing 60s. And this is the beautiful, talented Jan Kaplan singing. And we're going to play this for you right now. This is our music.
Grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon. I can't imagine anything that's better. The world is ours whenever we're together. There ain't a place I'd like to be instead of grooving down a crowded avenue.
See, we're not getting any sound. There's no sound.
Doing, yeah, anything we'd like to do.
You're not getting sound? Did you say you weren't getting sound?
There's always lots of things
Now we
we
do.
can
Now we're
see.
getting it, but we weren't before.
Can be anyone we like to be. And all those happy people we could meet, just grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Really, couldn't get away too soon. We'll keep on spending sunny days this way. We're gonna talk and laugh our time away. I feel it coming closer day by day. Life would be ecstasy, you and me endlessly grooving on a Sunday afternoon. Really couldn't get away too soon.
All right, we're back. Do you want to, I'm going to pull Anastara back in here for a minute. I was just wondering, have you been a lifelong seeker? Like what led you to do this? Do you talk to the angels every day? Do you have a relationship with them? Or can you show people how to develop that?
That's a great question, Jay. I believe that we are all multidimensional beings of light that have come down and descended into this three-dimensional matrix so that we can have our human experience. And as a multidimensional being of light, it means that we're connected to all timelines and all dimensions at the same time. And so our ancestors, past and future, are in that present multidimensional experience. And so, yes, we can all tap into our source energy and those Akashic records and tune in and tap in with our ancestral ties and our lineages, as well as angels, as well as our ascended masters. So when I go into a meditative state and experience source energy from within, and I begin within, right? We all begin within. And when we really drop into that source energy, then it aligns with divine truth. And when that alignment happens, more synchronicities and signs start to occur in our life. And so 1111 is a recurring number for me. It is for a lot of our 1111er tribe, as well as 222, 444, 555. And these repeating number patterns is how the universe speaks to us. And so when we're guided by these numbers, if you see 1111 on the clock, sometimes twice a day or in other areas of your life, then it's just that tune in, it's that message, it's that signal from source that you're aligned and that you're synchronized. And so I believe all of us have the capability to tap into source, to be the creator of our reality, and truly understand that we are all connected. As he was speaking earlier, I can't remember his name right now, but he was talking about Nassim Haramein. I think it was Steve Farrell. And Nassim's work is really about discussing the quantum reality and how science is now merging with spirituality. This ancient wisdom of spirituality is merging with quantum physics and science now, because they are literally proving that we are all connected, that the divine matrix itself holds infinite possibilities. It's not an empty vacuum. And so instead of focusing on the 0.0001% of dense matter in this 3D matrix, we can focus on the 99.99999% of infinite possibilities. And when we tap into that and we understand that, our life is infinite. Possibilities are endless. Anything is possible and everything can happen. Everything is possible and anything can happen. And so when we align with those synchronicities and signs, then we are actually in tune with our source, with our divine self. And so I was born Candace Corvus Cause, and Anastara is now being birthed through me. It was a name that came to me about 15 years ago through a psychic reading. And my husband and I said, oh, that's a beautiful name. We can use it when we have a daughter. Well, we never birthed a daughter. And so the name started coming forward more and more. And the mission and the vision of bringing and bridging community together to unify and to really, really tune into what unity consciousness means. To move away from the separation narrative that divides us and into unity consciousness vibration, raising our frequency to divine love. We are all multidimensional beings of light, capable of divine love. And when we operate from love, mission, purpose, passion, everything aligns. And so that's why I've asked people to start calling me Anastara, because it reminds me of my divinity. It reminds me of my connection and my multidimensionality. So,
and how do they do that? I mean, how can we call in the divine? What words?
Well, yeah, everybody has their own practice. For the longest time, I was not a sit-down meditator. I actually got into my flow state through hoop dance and using the hula hoop as a tool to connect my mind, body, and spirit and work and move my Kundalini energy. And so some people dance, some people sing, some people paint. But when we get into that flow state, we are channeling. We are channeling the divine. Whether you're writing a book, whether you're painting a picture, we are channeling with the divine. And so everyone has their own way to tap into that. Yeah.
I found that I've been a meditator since I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to sit, and it was so hard. I'd sit for so long trying to get relaxed. And finally, 20 minutes later, I'm relaxing and I fall asleep. But what I love about light touch is that you can immediately go into state. Instead of sitting there for 15 minutes to relax, you do a little light touch, and you go, thank you for miracles.
Mm-hmm.
This is a meditation.
Mm-hmm.
It's combining the touch and the mind and the breath and your intention. And you can actually, it's so much better than trying to relax, which is a lot of work. It's stressful.
Well, these days there's a lot of tools. There's a lot of tools to use. For instance, I use a meditation app on my phone called Synctuition. And it's these not visual, they're audio tours. And they basically start with some words and a beautiful incantation, and then it moves into music. And it really is about developing and cultivating your intuition. And so it's only 22 minutes long, and they've proven scientifically that it actually achieves approximately 4 hours of meditative state. So in 22 minutes, you can accomplish that through the binaural beats that they've created. It's beautiful. There's world music. There's so many world-renowned musicians that have been a part of creating those audio tours. So there's lots of tools to use as well. And touch is definitely one of them.
Great. I'm going to play another video for everybody here. This is another, I'm a big fan of the 60s. You know, like there's just nothing like the 60s musically and artistically and creatively. And this movie, this video is from, it's from the 60s. So here we go.
All right.
It's a medley. Hope you like this one. Here you go. Please let me know if you can't hear it for some reason.
Wow.
That was me playing keyboards.
Was it really? That was amazing. Thank you. You know, the image of those triangles kept coming up, and I know that you wanted to actually talk about Egypt for a moment.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, when I met, and before I actually met Anna Starr, we were talking, texting about Egypt. And, you know, there's a great mystery. Everyone's wondering, like, what's up with the pyramids?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did they really use slaves to take 1 million rocks or whatever and lift? They weigh 5 tons each, and they're perfectly placed, you know, so. But there is stories to the pyramids, and this is ancient civilizations, obviously, and extraterrestrial consciousness. A lot of people say that, you know, the reason that we even exist is that we were cavemen, and that, you know, that aliens, you know, made it, you know, with humans and, you know, created life. That's you know, intelligence. But supposedly there's a hall of records underneath the pyramids. Like, if you just go all the way down, you keep going, you keep going, you keep going, there's a hall of records. You know, as tall as it is, if you go underneath deep, there's an entrance down there. And that's all the answers of every question that you ever want to know about what's really going on. But it's really simple. You know, right now we're here. Like, if you look at the Earth, it's crucified, ladies and gentlemen. This is a crucified planet. It's also known as a yin yang, light and dark. So, you know, we're here, and the Earth is going to be here. So, but we have the opportunity to learn our lessons, and hopefully, we can make it easy on ourselves. Take the high road.
Yeah. Well, I really feel that the pyramids, as well as multiple sacred sites on the planet, they're put here for a reason. They're meant for something. And so many of them are still sitting dormant, and they're ready to be activated again. And we're ready to be activated by them. And so part of the 1111 Unified Vision is that in the future, we hope to take sacred pilgrimages to the sacred sites, where we can be creating sacred ceremony there on 11/11. And then we'll be filming it and sending it back to the virtual event so that people can view it from their home or at a local event in a nearby city. And at home too, you can even wear your VR goggles. We plan on filming in 360 technology. And so on the VR goggles, you'll have your own avatar, and then you can be present there with us at the site. So for people who can't travel or just don't have the money or they're handicapped, they can be present with us, and we can activate these sites and be reactivated by them. They're all meant for a reason. They bring energy into this world. Some of them are considered portals. And so who knows what's going to happen. Like, I really, really am curious and want to study and build a team of cohorts and organizations that will go on these pilgrimages with us and take readings of the frequency at the site and see if there's a shift before the ceremony and after the ceremony. Because I really believe that when we raise our frequency, that we can activate these portals, and who knows where they'll lead us to. Maybe we can be at the pyramids and go to Machu Picchu, or be at Machu Picchu and go to Stonehenge. Like, who knows? And so it's very, very exciting work that everybody's coming together to start and do. And this vision is not just my own. This is a collective vision. So many people are doing this. In fact, I just learned of an event called the 1111 Ceremony for the Earth. They're based in the UK, and they will be going to a sacred site and having an hour of silence on 11/11 at 11/11. And so this is a planetary mission, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, it was exciting because you were talking about, you know, beaming to other places. We're already doing that. I mean, we're already beaming images all over the world instantly. Instantly, we can send pictures and movies anywhere. So we're you know, teleportation is it's within reach. In this lifetime, they could be doing this. We're operating vehicles on Mars remotely. We're just someone here, and 8 minutes later, some robot is digging in dirt and sending samples back to Earth. So, anything is possible right now. It's really possible. And as Anna Starr was saying, the pyramids, they're here to show us that anything's possible. That stones that are quarried 200 miles away, and they weigh 5 tons each, can be brought hundreds of miles and put, erected into a perfectly positioned monument. That, I don't know if everyone knows this, but the root of the pyramid is perfect pi, which is a mathematical equation. It's like related to the sun. It's totally in sync with Orion, the stars. So, humankind really does have a lot of secrets from the past that hopefully we're going to unveil, in this lifetime. So let's see what else we have here. These are some of my images. If anyone has an interest in light touch, this is kind of what light touch looks like. Let's see here. Like if you imagine each light is saying thank you. Thank you for divine love. This is what we do every day. You go, thank you for divine love. Thank you for miracles. Each light saying thank you, thank you, thank you. A little divine love changes darkness into light in our lives. So we thank you for blessing everyone here. If you want to feel better, bless others. Let's forget about ourselves and bless the earth. The earth needs our love so much. And this is a great time. Whoops. So thank you for miracles. Even a little miracle, like, wow, some money came in the bank and I could pay a bill. We ask for financial blessings every day. And they come. Isn't that pretty? So I'm just wondering, Teresa, is there anything else you want to add, or do you want to join in, or are you good?
Say something.
Oh, I'm good.
Okay.
My name is Teresa Bell. It says Teresa up on the little Zoom thing, but my name is Teresa, Taressa Bell, Bell, and I can be reached with my name, Teresa Bell 7@gmail.com. If anybody wants to reach me and say hi. So the spelling, Teresa Bell.
You can sing another song if you want.
I'm good. That's the one thing I just noticed. I didn't have anything planned.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've been to the pyramids, and it's absolutely amazing. You feel like you're on another planet. And I had a very interesting experience when I went in there. We went with sound healers, and we had a didgeridoo, and we all got took turns laying in their sarcophagus and getting didged, and having a sound healer type voice like Teresa's sing to us. And then I went down in the bottom in the what's called the pit, and I spun, and I was hoping for life-changing experience. So on the way out, I was one of the last people out, and I went to grab the handrail, and I got 220 volts of electricity shock. I was suddenly I could not let go of the handle. I was just completely getting electrocuted badly. And finally, and I saw a flash of light. Finally, it stopped, and I flew backwards. And so I got my wish of having a profound experience. So I thought that would be a really good time to write some kind of a really cool spiritual book. I got a bunch of sound healing, and then I got electrocuted in the pyramid.
Wow.
But yeah, if anybody's never been to Egypt, when you go to those pyramids and you see the hieroglyphic, the things on the walls and things, you go, you know what? They're not telling what really actually happened. We do not have a connection to that history that is being told accurately. It wasn't the Egyptians alone. It was before them, but they took credit for it, and that's okay. But anyways, it was a wonderful experience.
I had my 11-year-old birthday in Egypt. How can you get electrocuted at the pyramid? There's electricity there.
What had happened? There was a fluorescent tube, and I was in shorts, and there was a fluorescent tube lighting at the bottom of the way to come up the stairs, and I either kicked it or it just popped. But there's argon gas in that thing, and so when it popped, it found the nearest ground, which was my leg, because the gas, is conductive. That's my theory. So I must have looked like that movie, The Thing, getting electrocuted. I'm just like, it was really intense. And the only reason I flew back is because after it stopped electrocuting me, I was trying to get away so hard, I flew back, and I just cut my hand a little bit. But that was the last stairway getting out. So the next thing that happened, I come out, and it's sunset over the whole Giza plain, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I got my wish.
I had my 12-year-old birthday in Egypt. So,
Wow.
all those places, I was 11 years old when I was there. And that was the coolest thing my parents ever did. I thought they were really cool for a short time there.
We actually took a boat up the Nile River and visited a whole bunch of different sites, Luxor, and it was pretty amazing. Yeah.
You had a transformation for sure after that.
Yes,
Channeling spirits. Egyptian spirits.
I can tell Anastar has something to add here.
It's amazing because everybody has their own experience in the pyramid. And I wanted to share mine because I was there earlier this year in March. And I was there with the group tour, and we got our private moment in the King's Chamber. And essentially the whole group got kind of pushed out of the King's Chamber pretty quickly, like within a few minutes. And the security guard came right over to me and he says, you power, you good power, come with me. And he took my hands and he sat me down with my back against the sarcophagus facing the wall. And he says, I make quiet for you. And he turned off all the AC units. And at that moment, I pulled out my phone. I'm like, I'm just going to start hitting record. And I just started singing. And suddenly there was 4 other voices behind me. And for 15 minutes, we got to sing and tone together. It was absolutely beautiful. I pulled out my journal and I started writing. And I got up and I turned around when it was complete. And it was 4 locals. It was 2 women and 2 men. And it was just like this angel choir. But really what came through during that moment was that chamber was built for sound healing. It literally is a sound healing chamber.
Absolutely.
And so we're actually taking a sacred pilgrimage to Egypt next year as part of 1111 Unified. Our group tour starts in October on the 24th up to November 14th. And we're going to take that whole journey from Cairo down the Nile River, and we'll end in Aswan, where we'll be at the Temple of Isis in Philae on 1111. And so we rented out the island for that evening. And so on 1111 at 11:11 p.m., we'll be at the Temple of Isis having our ceremony and then sharing it with the virtual event back in America.
Magical.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about that. You can find out more if you wanted. The website's 1111unified.com/Egypt, and you just apply, and we're going to have sound healers with us. I hope to have Heart Math Institute, taking frequency readings of the sites while we're there. I got big plans for it, so come and join us.
I want to go.
Yes,
I so long to go back to Egypt, and that, you know, there's like circles and cycles.
Mhm.
That's a cycle when you go and you do something like that. So it's in my bucket list.
Mhm.
Well, if you want to try a near-death experience, take a taxi in Cairo.
Yeah, during rush hour.
Yeah.
Where they have food stands literally on the side of the freeway, and people are walking along the side of the freeway and getting food.
And their one-way traffic circles are supposed to be one way. No.
When I was in Egypt, I was in 6th grade, and my parents took me out of school for 6 weeks. That's why I thought that was so cool, because I hated school. And, you know, one of the wonders too was you'd go down these dirt roads and out in the middle of nowhere. You know, this is like they didn't have paved highways or anything there then. And they were selling Coca-Cola. You know, I just thought that was amazing. So I've always loved Coca-Cola. No, I just kidding. Like Coca-Cola is like, we don't talk about it here at this house. But
Well, traveling is one of the most important things in my life, and I hope to continue to do that as well. And our Global Peace Tribe will have new ways of traveling. I just interviewed Susan Sweeten from the Freedom Travel Alliance, where she's able to charter planes for people, like private planes, and you don't go through the regular terminals and all the check marks and the checkpoints and stuff. So depending on the state of the world and the laws that are being passed by the time we're going in October, we might actually be chartering a private flight to get there. So we'll see what happens.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. Oh, Janice is like, yeah. Aw.
so how are we doing? Any other pressing shares from anyone here?
Well, I wanted to share that video that I shared with you earlier, if that's possible. Otherwise, I'm good.
Oh, right. Yeah. You were going to share that video.
I did text it to you.
I wonder if Scott's around, if he could do that. I have it loaded up.
I am here, and I do have it loaded up. That's the video for 11/11, yeah?
Yes, please. Yeah, our vision video. That would be
And it's good to see my neighbors, Howe and Teresa.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Neighbors.
So-
Are you in Sebastopol?
No, we all live in Hidden Valley Lake.
Oh, gotcha.
Deborah's in
Right,
Deborah's in
Deborah's in
Sebastopol.
Gotcha.
Okay, here we go. Do you want to introduce it at all, Anastar? Anything you want to say about it?
Yes, I would love to. Just a lot of love and devotion and effort put into this video. This is our vision video for 2021, and enjoy. It speaks for itself.
Okay, great. Here we go.
Hollywood units, any Hollywood unit, a man screaming and screaming for help.
Several tech companies slashed their outlooks to revive worries about a stalled economy at close of business yesterday.
The world is in extreme dissonance. Every day, people are experiencing incoherence. Many are operating primarily from the sympathetic nervous system, living in a constant state of reaction, fight, flight, or freeze. This has only further perpetuated separation and disharmony, provoking physical and psychological expressions of anxiety, depression, illness, and dis-ease. We are in a war on consciousness. We have reached the 11th hour, and now is the time to co-create a shift. We must pass through the portal and into our new birth, unified together. Let us begin within and learn to cultivate more practices that bring us into deeper coherence. We are envisioning a new state of being, resulting in more inner stability and peace. Our individual healing is our collective, in turn supporting us all and our emotional, physical, and psychological well-being. 1111 Unified is committed to bridging community together, creating partnerships with fellow organizations, scientists, mentors, healers, and experts in their fields, sharing their ever-growing wisdom and assisting us in co-creating our new Earth octave. Now is the time to organize our unified alliance of peaceful warriors, pioneering visionaries, way showers, and path changers. Let us form the bridges necessary to collectively unify and co-create coherence, ultimately benefiting us all and our future thrival. Welcome to 1111 Unified.
That is a beautiful video,
Awesome.
Sarah. Very beautiful.
It's still
Really
touching.
awesome.
When we made this soundtrack, and the first time I heard it with the music and everything, waterfall.
Beautiful. Good job.
And I want to acknowledge how much effort you've put in. I mean, this is a huge undertaking. 55 speakers and 3 panels, I think it is, and all the, interviewing everybody and organizing it. So Anastasia, you've really done an amazing job. And let's just take a moment to all hold the vision that it's going to be enormously successful. That this 1111 project that Anastasia has put so much energy into, and all the people that have contributed to it. Maximum grace for the project, maximum grace for all participants, maximum grace for our world.
Amen. So be it.
Yeah, blessed be.
Blessings,
So it is.
yes.
And so it is. Wow. It's such an honor to be here with all of you and being able to share that. And thank you, Scott. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it really is a
Thank you so
labor of
much,
love.
really.
And I do want to acknowledge my beautiful husband, Andrew Cause. He's been funding the whole thing up till now. So we're
Wow.
just hoping that the tribe will come and purchase their portal pass and support the cause and be able to donate to Emoto's Peace Project. That's our main goal. So yeah, calling it in.
Absolutely. I'll promote it again tomorrow on my Sacred
Thank you,
Sex
Angel.
show.
I appreciate it.
Yes. A little bit of angel love really goes a long ways.
A lot of earth angels here in the village.
And the beauty of the angels is you have to call on them. They don't just arbitrarily come when we're needed, but when we call on them, and when you do light touch, I'm not like light touch is just a blessing. It came right out of the pandemic, just like Saturday Night Alive. The pandemic came, and that's when light touch came to the world too. And we've been sponsoring the show really since the beginning. So we got a positive message. That's what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, you put out positivity, it comes back.
Exactly.
We help others, the universe helps us. We're here to serve. If you're suffering, find somebody to serve, find somebody to feed, find something to do that's important and meaningful.
Global Peace Tribe Unite. We're here to do the work together. Let's do it. Get it done.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are birthing our new world.
Well, thank you, Jay, for sponsoring the show. And I guess this is our little closing video.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, this is just a little video. This is on my website too. It's what Light Touch offers. You do light touch and you go, thank you for divine love. Thank you for spiritual wellness. Thank you for success. Has anyone thanked the universe for success today? or yesterday or tomorrow. You know, I do it every day, and I feel successful. And I didn't before I started doing light touch, because it's a request. You would make a request from the universe, and you know, it's a blessing. So thank you for letting me share that with everyone. And I do have a final video. It's actually the welcome to the after show, but we'll play it at the end anyway, because I like this video a lot. And I'll set that up for you. And that will be it, my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings.
Blessings, everybody. Thanks for watching. Come to the Sacred Sunday show tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock. We'll promote Anastara again, and we've got Lloyd Barty, who's going to be talking all about music.
Okay, I think this is the video that I wanted to show. Let's hopefully. Here you go. Oh, okay, that's one. Oh. This was originally for the after show. I guess that will be our good night video. Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.